We woke up that morning and Nehemiah just seemed a bit unhappy. So we had her running on oxygen at the time. Um, Her stats were slightly, not low, not too low. So we had increased her oxygen machine, which brought her stats up. And then, she was in a comfortable space. She slept and then she woke up and she was still unhappy again. Um, and then without, like, had no idea that the lights, we knew what time the load shedding was, which was supposed to be 10 a.m. that morning. But the lights just cut off at 8. And little did we know that there was actually a scheduled maintenance that we weren't notified about. They actually posted it in the group at 11 o'clock, like 3 hours after it went out. So all of a sudden at 8, the lights just went out. We had to now scramble and just change her over from the machine onto the oxygen tank because the machine that we have is quite a strong one. It has to be plugged into the wall. They don't even allow you to put it on with like on extensions and stuff. It has to freestand because it draws quite a lot of power. And so you must know it drains the inverters a lot. So we opted to just make sure that we have an oxygen tank here. But the oxygen tank is not as strong as the machine in terms of oxygen flow. So once we put her on on the tank, because now the power had just cut off, um, we then decided no, we're just gonna rush her to the hospital. And rather get her to professionals. So we put her in the car with the oxygen tank, and her mom sat with her in the back with the tank, and I drove. So as I was driving, then she just started saying, "Oh, she's looking gray now. She doesn't look like she's breathing," and she started getting hysterical. And I was speeding at the time to the hospital, just trying to get there. And you've got these two things running through your mind now. You don't know if you must stop and try and do mouth to mouth or resuscitate her or try and get to the professionals at the hospital. So we tried to get her there as soon as possible, but we were not in time. The hospital tried for about 20 minutes or so to try to resuscitate her and stuff. But yeah, I think it was too late. She was discharged from the hospital on the Monday, and this happened on Thursday. But when she was discharged, we had to keep her on oxygen. So we were alternating between oxygen machine and the oxygen tank, you know, just because of our load shedding hours were a lot. So sometimes going off 4 times a day, 3 times a day, sometimes for long periods, like 4.5 hours. And sometimes it doesn't come back on time, come back later. Sometimes it's hours and sometimes days. So yeah. We're just trying to cope, man. We've actually just been trying to keep busy. So just being around family and friends and, just keeping busy was just the number one thing for me, just to try and keep my mind sane, if I must put it that way. So yeah, her mom was obviously, I have to be strong for her, so she's a lot more devastated. Well, I can't say she's more devastated than me. We just handle things differently. But obviously, I have to be strong for her. Yeah, I don't know what more I can say, man. It's very difficult to explain how we're feeling and what we're going through right now. We just want to try and make sure that um, after all this is over and we've done the funeral and stuff, that we're going to just try and assist to help South Africans. And if she can be the light for South Africans, then we're going to try and fight as hard as we can just to get some change done so that we possibly can save other kids and elderly people and just people with issues and stuff, that's that's really depend on power to survive. So I don't know if they do not understand that, but there's a lot. So we just hope that things like this just wake them up. Yeah. I'm unsure as yet. It wasn't our plan to do any media or to do any legal action. We didn't even look at that. I mean, our focus has been on our daughter. But with all the support and all the leaders that have contacted us um, and asked us to be part of something greater, I may possibly look into it, but I will sit down with people after the funeral because that's most important right now. Um, and then yeah, I'll see. I'll just see I'll just see what everything is, at the time, and make a decision from there. But if, like I'm saying, if it can assist people of South Africa, then I'm willing to fight.